Night had fallen over the great valley, and rain poured like never before. Thunder cracked, lightning flashed, and the forest animals ran for shelter. But deep inside the forest, a mother lion struggled to save her newborn cubs. She carried one in her mouth, shielding them from the heavy rain. But the wind grew stronger, trees snapped, the ground shook, and in her panic, one tiny cub slipped from her mouth and rolled down a muddy slope into the darkness below. The little cub cried, weak and helpless, until his voice faded into the storm. By dawn, the storm was over. A shepherd boy found something unusual near the edge of the forest, a small golden creature lying beside a rock, shivering. When he picked it up, he gasped. It wasn't a lamb, it was a lion cub. He looked around, no mother, no pride, just silence. So he wrapped the cub in his cloak and whispered, "Don't worry, little one, you'll grow with us." That was the day a lion's destiny changed forever. The cub grew among the flock. He learned to bleat instead of roar. He ate grass instead of meat. He followed the shepherd and slept beside the sheep every night. They named him Leo, and to them, he was family. Whenever wolves came near, Leo would hide behind the others. He was big but timid, strong but scared. The other sheep would tease him playfully. "Leo, you look strange. Why is your voice so deep? Why is your hair growing so wild?" Leo would laugh shyly and say, "I guess I'm just a funny-looking sheep." But sometimes, when he looked into the water, he saw something that confused him. His face didn't look like theirs. His reflection was different, powerful, yet unfamiliar. He'd shake his head and say to himself, "No, I'm just one of them. I have to be." One morning, as the sun painted the valley gold, Leo heard something strange, a sound so deep it made the earth tremble. Roar! It came from the far side of the forest. The sheep screamed and ran behind rocks, but Leo stood still. Something inside him moved, something ancient and wild. His heart raced, his paws tingled. That sound, it felt familiar. He ran to the river and stared into the water again. His golden eyes glowed, his mane fluttered in the wind. For a moment, he didn't see a sheep. He saw a lion staring back at him. But he shook his head quickly. "No, that can't be me. I'm just Leo, the sheep." Still, he couldn't stop thinking about that roar. A few days later, the shepherd led the flock near the forest edge. It was a calm morning, until suddenly the bushes rustled. Out came a massive lion, muscles shining under the sunlight, eyes fierce and golden. The sheep panicked. "Run! It's a lion!" They scattered in all directions, but Leo froze. The big lion's gaze locked on him. He walked slowly toward Leo and growled softly. "What are you doing here among sheep?" Leo trembled. I live with them. I'm one of them." The lion frowned. "One of them? You? Look at yourself." Leo looked down, afraid. I can't roar. I don't hunt. I eat grass. Please don't hurt me." The big lion tilted his head. "Hurt you? You're my kind. You're my blood." Leo blinked in confusion. "Your kind?" "Yes," said the big lion. "You are not a sheep. You are a lion, the son of a king, and you've forgotten who you are." The big lion turned toward the forest and said, "Come, I'll show you." Leo hesitated. "What if the sheep need me?" "They'll be fine. But you need to know the truth." Leo followed nervously into the forest. Every step felt strange. The smell of the trees, the sound of the wind, the feel of the earth. When they reached a clear lake, the big lion stopped and said, "Look." Leo leaned forward and saw their reflections side by side. They were almost the same mane, same eyes, same face. I can't be like you. I'm too scared." The big lion smiled gently. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's finding your roar despite it. The big lion backed away. "Now, roar," he commanded. Leo's heart pounded. "I can't." "Try." Leo opened his mouth and let out a small, broken sound. The big lion roared back, a thunder that echoed across the forest. "Again," he said. Leo tried again, louder this time, but shaky. The big lion's eyes burned with pride. "Once more with your heart." Leo closed his eyes. He remembered the shepherd's kindness, the sheep's laughter, the reflection in the water, and the roar that once shook his soul. Then he drew a deep breath and roared. It wasn't just a sound. It was power, fire, and freedom bursting from his heart. Birds flew from trees, the valley trembled, and the echo rolled across the mountains. Leo stood tall, chest high, eyes fierce. For the first time in his life, he felt alive. The big lion nodded proudly. There it is, the roar of a king. Leo followed the big lion back to the valley. The sheep were terrified when they saw them together. "Leo, run! The lion will eat you!" But Leo didn't run. He walked forward slowly, his golden mane glowing in the sun. He spoke softly. "Don't be afraid. I am still Leo, but I've found who I truly am." The sheep stared in disbelief. The shepherd gasped. Leo turned to the wolves watching from the forest edge. He let out a mighty roar that shook the ground. The wolves whimpered and fled. The sheep realized he wasn't their enemy. He was their protector. From that day, no predator ever dared come near. Leo guarded the flock like a true king, gentle to his friends, but fierce to any threat. As the seasons passed, Leo became a legend. People said he was the lion who lived among sheep, but ruled like a king. He never forgot the shepherd who saved him, nor the sheep who raised him. But he also never forgot who he was. Sometimes, at sunset, he would climb the highest hill and roar, not to scare anyone, but to remind himself and the world. You can raise a lion among sheep, but you can never take the lion out of him. His roar echoed across the mountains, through valleys, and into the hearts of everyone who heard it. It wasn't just a sound. It was a message. A message to anyone who had ever felt out of place. Many people live their whole lives like sheep, following the crowd, afraid to stand out, afraid to roar. But inside each of us is a lion, powerful, brave, born to lead. Your surroundings may shape you, but they don't define you. The world may tell you to stay quiet, but your destiny whispers, roar. Don't let fear silence your power. Don't let comfort chain your spirit. You are not what the world calls you. You are what you were born to be. Leo stands on the cliff, mane flowing in the wind as the sun rises behind him. Birds fly past. The valley glows. You were not made to blend in. You were born to stand out. So, stand tall and roar.
Thank you for watching Generational Animation, where every story carries a lesson and every voice echoes through time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because the next tale might just change how you see the world of animals. See you in our next story.